Yo guys, welcome back. It's very late. It's 2:53 a.m. I normally don't make YouTube videos this late, but yeah, it's almost 3 a.m. As soon as I finish this video, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm not feeling too well for some reason. I think I have a little cold, but I'm fine. It's not a big deal. Just a little cold. But yeah, which kind of sucks. It might be a little hard to sleep because of that. But yeah, I have a lot of videos I made, but I haven't uploaded them yet. Like I made a video on Tuesday night talking about my job that I got, and this is gonna be like a follow-up video, and yeah. And then I have a daylight savings rant video I'm planning to make probably tomorrow, which I know I am late to make a rant about daylight savings because it already passed, but I was just really busy. So it's kind of gonna be a late video, but yeah. And yeah, I know I need to get a haircut and stuff. I wanted to get one, but I still haven't got the chance. Maybe tomorrow I'll get one. Like I basically, I'm gonna keep this part growing, but just this part I want to like trim it a little bit, and then maybe some parts over here trim it a little bit as well. Just a small haircut. But yeah, so I might get a small haircut soon, maybe tomorrow. My last haircut was like back in January, so yeah. But anyways, guys, I want to basically make a video talking about my job. Now, I made a video back on Tuesday talking about my job. But yeah, so this video, I'm basically gonna say what happened afterwards. Unfortunately, I got fired. I got fired from my construction job. So yeah, guys, I don't have a job anymore. I got fired. I was literally, I got fired after working for just literally a day. That's how quick it was. I literally got fired really quickly. I started my job like on Tuesday, so 2 days ago I started my job, and I already got fired literally yesterday. So just after being there for a day, I got fired. So yeah, like I'm not gonna really say like my construction job because I already made a video talking about it. But I basically started my job for construction back on Tuesday, which I had to drive 20 minutes to my job. It was basically in like a small town. I had to drive to a town in the middle of nowhere. Like, I had to drive through the country, the middle of nowhere. And then I showed up to the town. And, I showed up for construction. And then my job was basically, I started off by shoveling snow on the second floor. Then I started to, throw garbage out, like heavy garbage. I would throw it out. But then things got even harder. I had to dismantle, you know, structures using a hammer. I had like safety boots, a belt, a hammer, gloves, safety glasses. I had like construction gear on me. Then I had to dismantle, like the structure and stuff like that. And then the logs were so heavy, 5 meters long, and I had to carry them. They were brutally heavy. My back hurts. My arms hurt really badly. Then, I also had to cut plywood, which was scary. I thought I was gonna cut myself. I had to use a staple gun, climb up a ladder, climb up the roof. That was really scary. The area I worked in was in general really scary. It was really slippery with all the snow and ice. I nearly fell many times. There were nails and logs and wood. I was scared I was going to step on them. So, it was really scary. And to be honest, I hated my job. I hated it. It was really difficult. I had to work for 8 hours, from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. I had to work 8 hours, literally. I got so tired. Oh my goodness. Guys, don't ever work for construction. Construction sucks. Like, I know I made a video a couple of months ago saying, oh, construction seems awesome. I changed my mind. I changed my mind like a month ago. I thought it was stupid, you know, after thinking about it for a while. I was like, I don't want to be in construction. Screw that. But I ended up joining it anyways because my dad, he like pressured me. He's like, "Oh, you should join construction. You won't regret it." Well, I did. Then I got fired after a day, you know. But yeah, but basically how I got fired. So starting off on Tuesday actually, it all happened on Tuesday. I screwed up so many times like crazy, you know. I showed up to work, you know, at I was supposed to show up at 8 a.m., but I was late. I showed up like 5 or 6 minutes late, which it's not my fault. It's just that the roads were really slippery. Cars were slow because of that. There was a lot of red lights. I had to stop, so that kind of made me late. So that's my first screw up I already made. I showed up late for my first day of work. Then after that, I screwed up because like when I met with my boss, he's like, "Oh, follow me." I started driving after him. You know, he got in his car. I was driving after him, but then you know he just randomly vanished. I couldn't find him. Like his car just disappeared. So for 15 minutes I couldn't find him. Then I found him after 15 minutes. So that's my second screw up. I screwed up a second time. Then, you know, then I was throwing out garbage. The boss complained. He said that I'm being too slow. That's my third mistake I made. You know, then my fourth mistake I made was I was cutting plywood. I cut it crooked. I didn't cut it in a straight line. I cut it crooked. I didn't mean to. It's just that I have horrible experience in cutting plywood. I've barely ever done that in my life. So I screwed up because of that. I cut the plywood horribly. Then I messed up one of the plywood. I cut a piece I shouldn't have cut, and then the construction workers got mad at me, you know, for screwing up the plywood. So that's another mistake I made on my first day on the job. Then I had to use a staple gun, attach the plywood on the ceiling, which I screwed up. I stapled the places where I shouldn't have placed it, and you know I stapled where I shouldn't. And you know, I was trying to ask for help. I was asking the workers, okay, just to clarify, is this what I do or do I not do this? But the thing is, you know, like I couldn't always ask for help because they would leave, the construction workers would leave to do their job. You know, they would just, when I wanted to ask for help or directions, they would just leave. They would leave to do their job. They would like climb up a roof, and I couldn't talk to them. They were up on the roof, but I didn't want to like wait for them to get the chance to talk because it would be like me just, you know, standing there doing nothing, not even working. And obviously, you know, what's the point of paying me money if I'm just standing there not working? You know, I'm not paid to, you know, not do anything. So of course I didn't want to do that. I would never do that, you know, just stand there and not do anything. But I couldn't ask for directions because they were away. The workers left. So I realized, okay, if I don't want to wait for them to ask for help, so I'll just do it on my own then, you know, rather than standing and not doing anything at all. So I started doing it on my own, you know, and I screwed up because of that, because I couldn't ask for help because they left. And then, you know, at the end of the day, I also messed up. I accidentally, you know, turned the power off. I didn't mean to, but you know, one of the workers said, "Okay, go to the basement, turn the power off." I did that, and then he's like, "No, that's not what I meant. You weren't supposed to do that." You know, he got all pissed off. Um, so then moving on to Wednesday, which Wednesday is what passed already. Yeah, I screwed up on Wednesday as well. You know, that's the day I got fired. 2 hours into my shift, and I got fired officially. Um, I on yesterday my job was to basically work with the boss. I had to work with the boss, and the job was to help him build the basement. So me and the boss went to the basement, and my job was to hold the measuring tape. Or no, yeah, it was to hold the measuring tape. He drew lines with a pencil, and I had to like hold the measuring tape, for him to measure. And then he's like, okay, put it. Or at first he's like, no, what are you doing? You have to put the measuring tape at the edge, only the edge. And I was like, oh, okay, my bad. I'm sorry. Then I put it against the edge. Then later on, he's like, no, what are you doing? Not the edge. You have to put it against the whole entire marker line that I drew. And I was confused. I was like, but didn't you tell me to just put it against the edge? That's another mistake I made. And then after that, he's like, okay, go outside, get the 2x4s, and lean them against the window. And I was confused. I was like, 2x4s? What's that? And right when I was about to ask him the question, like, what do you want me to do exactly? He just takes off. See what I mean? I try to get help, but then they leave. And I don't want to, like, wait for them to come back and stand there and not do anything. That's not what they hired me for. So I just went outside. I was like, okay, I'll try to figure this out on my own. And then, I was assuming the 2x4s are the logs, and I was right. They're the logs. Then I took them, I leaned them towards the window, and then the boss got mad. He's like, "What are you doing? You have to put them in the through the window into the basement so I can take them." That's what he told me. And then I was like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense." So I started taking logs, putting them down into the basement, and then, um, he took the logs and everything, and then yeah, I just handed them to him one by one. And then he got mad. He's like, "No, what are you doing? Don't give me one by one. Give me three at the same time." I did that, and then he's like, "No, why are you giving me like you only give me the big logs. Only the big ones." So I gave him the big logs. Then he got mad again. He's like, "What are you doing? You're supposed to give me the big ones. Um like you're supposed to give me the lawn logs." But I was confused because, yeah, I didn't give him the lawn logs, but then again, the big logs that I gave him, like, I didn't know what he meant because the big logs, yeah, they're not the lawn logs, they're the shorter ones, but the big logs, they're still huge when it comes to width, The lawn logs, they're very skinny, but I was supposed to give him, like, the ones with the big width, the big width logs. That's what I thought he meant when he said the big logs. Because how am I supposed to know? When he said, give me the big logs, I thought it's like the fat ones, the big ones. Turns out he wanted the very skinny lawn ones. And then he's like, then he just got mad at me. He's like, what do you think you're doing? That's it. That's it. You can't keep doing this. You're fired. I'm gonna have to ask you to just leave because this can't keep happening anymore. But then I try to stand up for myself. I was like, yeah, but I didn't get your question. You told me like, you know, take the big logs. And then all of a sudden you're telling me, oh no, just the thin ones or whatever, the skinny ones. Like, what did you mean by that? Then he's like, clearly you don't understand. That's not what I meant. You're supposed to just give me the lawn logs. But yeah, I got fired. But he still said he's gonna pay me anyways. And actually, I made a lot of money, surprisingly, for working, for an 8-hour shift on Tuesday and those extra 2 hours before I got fired. I actually made $240. So even though I got fired, I still made money. So yeah, but I eventually, basically, yeah, I gave him my invoice, and then he transferred me money. So I ended up receiving $240. So I still made money off my job. But yeah, I got fired, guys. I don't have a job anymore. I don't have a job. But yeah, but I'm kind of disappointed because if I worked 5 days, I mean, I hated the construction job. Really wanted to quit anyways. It was a horrible job. I hated construction. It was really stressful, really difficult, tiring. But but if I worked for 5 days, I could have even earned like $1,000. But yeah, too bad I got fired. I only earned $200, and I only got fired like in like 2 days, pretty much, or like 24 hours even. But yeah, but oh well, it is what it is. I was kind of expecting to get fired, honestly, because the job is just too difficult. But yeah, but it's fine. It is experience anyways, I still made money. I'll just find myself a better job. But yeah, guys, that's all I had to say. I'm gonna go to sleep. It's 3 a.m. now. It's 3:08 a.m. I've been talking for 15 minutes. But yeah, good night, guys. So I'm gonna make another video tomorrow and upload my other videos. But yeah, until next time, take care, guys. And yeah, bye.